Hey, Sarah. I know
Oh,
we did our intake together, and I remember a little bit about what was going on, but I just wanted to check in with you and see how your week went this week, and is there any other concerns?
well, it's been kind of tough at home with like trying to transition. I got a few college offers, and the end of the year has been hard for me. This is just a huge change in my life, and I don't know how to cope with it.
Yeah. So I hear that, that you got some college offers. That's wonderful.
Mm.
And but there's also some things that are hard to transition. So what are those things that have been hard to transition with?
Well, I've never like lived alone or with a friend before. I've always been with my family, and I do feel like a huge caretaker for them. And although I'm their caretaker, also I feel like I depend on them as well. Like I depend on helping them. So
Mhm.
now, like leaving that kind of phase of my life, I don't know. I'm just really worried about the future.
Yeah. And sometimes like transitions can be tough. It can
Mhm.
be, overwhelming, and we have to kind of bring ourselves back and focus on the here and now. Were you able to talk to your parents about how you've been feeling with your transition?
I don't know if they fully understand it. I tried talking to them a little bit about it. They do care about me. They want me to go to school, but like I can tell they're also maybe hiding some of their worries too. So I
Yeah.
try to them. They just want what's best for me, but I'm just constantly anxious about this process.
Hmm. So I want to practice an activity with you. So do you have a piece of paper and a pen with you?
Yes.
Okay. So this activity is called the tomato exercise. And what you do is we're going to make a circle, and we're
Mhm.
gonna kind of out of the circle, you're gonna do a pie chart, and you're gonna list all the things that worry you, that bother you about your transition, that 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 come anything that comes to mind when you're talking about your transition, or your parents or your siblings. So you
Okay.
just kind of list them all and kind of like in a pie graph form.
Sure.
And sometimes things like family, like they can overlap. So, so I'll give you some time to work on that.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So what do you got there?
So I have on here, which is my biggest piece, is who's gonna take care of my siblings.
Hmm.
And then my next biggest piece is my parents and how they're gonna deal with it. And then my three like little smaller pieces is living alone, um, living living alone or living with other people, and like dealing with college and how to maneuver through that.
Yeah. So now I want to, all those things could sound like you're being anxious and like overwhelmed. So kind of like list them off and like on what you can't control.
Yeah, these are all my worried thoughts. So what I can't control. Okay. I can't control my parents do.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Mhm.
Um I guess I can't control if I have to live alone with roommates. Like we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah.
I control how college goes.
Mhm.
And I also can't control how my parents are gonna I mean, how my siblings are gonna, um how they're gonna react to this or how their life is gonna be after this.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. So what do you got there that you can control?
I don't think I can control any of these things, honestly. I guess the only thing I can control is the way I cope with the situation. Um,
Has
I guess,
there
yeah.
have you had any other coping mechanisms that you've done before in the past?
I guess I can try to not let like all the weight on my shoulders for everything always.
Mhm.
Um, good one for me would probably be uh like trying meditation or something. I've been trying to do that. It's just really hard for me to do it right.
Okay.
So,
And I could definitely help you with that and teach you about mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present in the here and now
mhm,
and focusing on what you're doing. Focus, and there's different like apps that help you with that. There's different videos on YouTube and
mm,
books. So we can kind of go through that together
yeah,
and where we can kind of avoid, the outside influences. And
okay,
what I also think that kind of might be helpful too is, maybe voicing and talking to your parents more as this, as you make this decision and this big transition, because,
mhm,
they are a part of this choice that you have made to like move on and go to college, which is I think is a wonderful choice for you.
mm.
And
Okay, yeah. I would like to learn more about mindfulness. I think it would be very helpful and also something I could do alone at school or like in my dorm room.
mhm,
So, yeah, okay.
okay. So what else? Is there anything good that's been going on with you this week?
Well, I guess the positive side is that um, I'm almost kind of done with high school, and it is some parts of it are exciting. The future, it's not only anxiety, but I'm doing great in school. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so those are good. Like you're doing wonderful in school, you're doing great.
mm,
I hear what you're saying about like wanting to be worried is um there's one other thing that I kind of want to go over with you is what is this other task that we do? If you went to school, what do you think is the worst outcome that would have happened with your family and your parents?
huh. So I think me going away, I think the worst thing would be is that my siblings get less care
Mhm.
because I'm gone and I'm their primary caretaker. That's my biggest fear, and my biggest fear is them like doing bad in school or falling behind on everyday things.
Okay. So if you go to school, they don't get the proper care that they need afterwards.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go to school, what would happen?
Well, I guess if I didn't go to school, I wouldn't be getting the education I've always wanted to better myself and eventually better my family. But I also feel like in my mind, if I don't go to school, I can be there for them a little bit more. Um, so I don't know.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that we can like kind of work out and work through as you kind of go through this process of therapy.
Okay.
So how does that make you feel now?
It makes me feel great and hopeful for the future.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful.